Let's start with a yoga pose. I don't think I need to warm up for this. Well, I usually don't need to warm up. Come on, Michelle. Crap. Whew. Let's try a fresh start. Hi, I'm Michelle Lulan, and even as an experienced yoga instructor, I need to tackle challenging poses one step at a time. For example, if I want to achieve this pose, I need to break it down into the necessary steps. Step 1, put your left knee down. I'm not proposing. Put your left palm down. Step 2, lift up your hips first. And slowly move your right knee to your right. Step 2, raise your right knee up first. And step 3, slowly raise your right leg up. Step 4, breathe. In order to connect, it's important to first separate. Now I have found my balance, and I could stay in this position all day, even in high heels. But I don't need to show off. How I start this talk, leaping into a complex yoga pose without taking the time to find my balance, is how many people dive into a yoga class. Their intentions are admirable, but the desire for instant gratification almost always leads to disappointment. Students begin doubting their flexibilities and focusing on their insecurities. They prefer dimmer lights, dark corner of the room from which they can observe others to look to their peers as leaders. They worry too much about embarrassing themselves and instead of working on their own craft. This fear can become debilitating until they give up and they decide, no, yoga is not for me. Sound familiar? It's now unlike how we try to conquer social media. Especially these days, we dive in trying to display only perfection and awaiting the immediate satisfaction that follows. But then we start to see what everyone else is doing, and then we get frustrated. It may start with, look, she is so beautiful, but quickly becomes, why can't I be her? It can be overwhelming. But how do we go from being overwhelmed by social media to a place it can actually enhance our lives? Well, just like any complex yoga pose, we need to first separate, then connect. Step 1, find what makes you, you. Embrace a healthier sense of self. Commit to measuring yourself by only one principle and realizing your own potential. Consider what you want to accomplish and why that pursuit is fulfilling. You can't spend all your time worrying about what others think you should be. And listen, I get it. I grew up with a traditional Asian mother. Yep, a tiger mom. I see some of you know what I'm talking about. I love my mom, but I was always compared to other girls growing up. Whatever I did wasn't good enough if other girls did it better. Unfortunately, I had to stop listening to what she wanted for me because it wasn't healthy. So that's part of why I left home at a young age. I had to find my own voice and my own goals. Separate yourself from the person that everyone thinks you should be and disconnect. Find yourself. Step 2, don't obsess about them. Don't stalk. Don't obsess. And don't follow. Whenever you discover social media is making you uncomfortable, just stop. Stop looking at others. And if you do catch yourself stalking, then ask, what void are you trying to fill in your own life? If you're serious about being your best self, you will stop worrying about anyone else. Connect to yourself, but not in relation to others. Just know the self-discovery and the self-acceptance requires tremendous strength. In my case, people always tell me how they love my photos and my social media posts. I found a home on social media because it gives me a place to hide from my fears while also giving me an opportunity to express myself. I could write posts that allow me to share my thoughts without worrying about being misunderstood. But they didn't see me struggling to overcome my greatest fear, my biggest insecurity, my accent. That's right, I'm not from Brooklyn. I live in fear that people won't understand me because of my accent, or won't be patient enough to try, or worse, that they will think I'm not smart enough. I get nervous speaking English, especially in public. My body panics and it goes into overdrive. I start to sweat and I suddenly feel exposed and unsafe. But I know if I ever want to come my biggest fear, I have to face it head on. On my social media post, I post hundreds of beautiful yoga photos, but I never exposed my accent. And I know I'm not the only one hiding a piece of myself. Many of us use social media, hide a piece of ourselves, just like in a yoga class, feeding off our own insecurities as we silently observe others, looking to find others who will take the lead. So, the next one, very important. Use the uncomfortable. In order to empower yourself, we need to take what is uncomfortable for us and own it. Better yet, kick his ass. I like to tell my yoga students what I had to tell myself about Instagram. Even for those of us who are determined to always bending forward, it is okay to sometimes bending backwards. So many yoga teachers start a class with the right foot, right arm first, so I make my students start with the left. You need to let yourself try something different, which is the hardest part, facing what makes you the most uncomfortable, exposing your vulnerabilities. So here I am before you today, trying to practice what I preach. Because believe it or not, standing here in front of all of you right now is much harder than the position I was standing in earlier. But I know thank you. If I ever want to overcome my greatest fear, I need to take what is uncomfortable for me. And then it's actually not so bad. I'm finding my accent is beautiful in its own way. Of course, it will always present me with some challenges, but this is what makes me unique. It's part of what makes me, me. Whenever you have trouble navigating your place on social media, I encourage you to come right back to where we started and take things one step at a time. Step 1, find what makes you you. Step 2, don't obsess about them. Step 3, use the uncomfortable. Oh, and I almost forgot step 4. After you have connected with yourself, find a healthier perspective, reconnect, follow whoever you want, myself included, of course. I will be right there with you too. Maybe it will be the moment I post a video of my accent on my Instagram. Use social media that is healthy for you. Like sugar, it's fine in moderation, but it can be very unhealthy if abused. Find a candy, or eye candy in this case, that allow you to enjoy rather than the kind that leaves you feeling sick. I know it's easier said than done, but try not to overeat. Step 1, step 2, step 3, separate, then connect. Thank you and namaste.